in the beautiful city of Sterling Heights this morning. We're on Dodge Park. This is Dodge Park over here, and Sorrento, which is a residential road here. And for many, many years, this entire area has complained about sewer gas odors. And we spent a lot of time and resources researching, trying to figure out exactly, what was the problem. It's been going on for decades, I think, a very long time. And, nobody really sees what's underground here, of course, but all of our sanitary sewers are of concern to all of us, really. But here at the Public Works, in addition to making sure that they're operating properly, that they're maintained properly, that they're inspected properly, we don't want there to be any negative kinds of consequences to the flow of the sewage. And so and of course, this is a beautiful area, beautiful homes. And the people were justifiably concerned about the odors that we were having here. So what we've done, we've actually constructed now this fantastic, state-of-the-art, high-tech odor control facility, which is actually this house that we are all standing in front of, right on the corner of Sorrento and Dodge Park. The house is really a facade. It looks beautiful. We don't have our landscaping in yet because of the weather, but as soon as the weather breaks, we'll landscape this beautifully to match all the other beautiful areas here in the residential area here in Sterling Heights. But we wanted to do something that fit into the neighborhood. So we didn't just want to put a bunch of pumps and pipes and things that people drive by and go, geez, what an eyesore is that? Even though we would have solved the sewer odor problem. And so we decided that we would invest a little more money here and build something long-term, generationally, that really fits in with the neighborhood so that it's actually a pleasant thing to look at, does not detract from anybody's property values, helps us tremendously with all of these sewer odors that we've all experienced here. And the other thing that this actually does is it's eliminating what is known as H2S, which is hydrogen sulfate, which is an element that is released when sewage is churning. If you've watched our videos, you've heard me talk about this in the past. That is highly acidic to underground pipes. And what it does is it corrodes and degrades the integrity of these pipes. So not only are we think there's a win-win here today, because not only are we solving an odor issue here that has plagued this neighborhood, these poor residents, for a long time, but in addition to that, this is really an investment in the long-term integrity of our underground infrastructure, which we've all paid for already. So we obviously want to preserve it and maintain it to the best of our ability as long as we possibly can. So this is really hits both those marks for us. And I'm joined with a number of folks here today. Steve Downey is my construction engineer, was the project manager on this site. And let me just ask him to speak to this. And just so you know who else is behind us here, Liz Sarowski is on the Sterling Heights City Council. Joe Romano is a county commissioner from this district here. And Rob Myjack is also on the city council, used to be on the county commission. And so they join us because they've been very involved and interested, as all the residents in the city council, of course, has. And then I have Don Van Sickle, who I will ask to make a couple of comments after Steve. Don is actually the county commissioner that serves on what is known as the MID board, the Macomb Interceptor Drainage District. You don't have to remember all that. But this particular project is something under the OMID board, Oakland Macomb Interceptor Drainage. So all of the sewage from 11 communities in Macomb County eventually finds its way down to 15 Mile in the ITC corridor right across from the high school here, where all of that sewage for about 600,000 people, as well as sewage coming from Oakland County, that's where it has its nexus, and that's what's known as the OMID, okay? And so then that all goes down to Detroit for proper treatment. But at any rate, we want to make sure that we are addressing all of the various issues within our systems here. And that's what we're about today. So I'm going to ask Steve Downey to tell us, Steve, what's inside this beautiful home.
Well, thank you, Candace. Yes, this beautiful home is housing what we call an activated carbon odor control and corrosion control facility. This is one of several that we've constructed in both the mid and the OMID systems that is going to help not only alleviate the nuisance odors that anybody who's walked by one of these facilities or an area where we have positive pressures has experienced, but also, as Candace mentioned, it's going to reduce or hopefully eliminate the corrosion-induced degradation of our concrete sewer pipes. The hydrogen sulfide literally will turn concrete into like a toothpaste type consistency. It's amazing on how quickly that can happen. And as Candace mentioned, we paid for this stuff. Let's try to preserve it. And this is a good way of doing that. So this facility here is, it's got a fan in it, essentially 14,000 CFM. It's a pretty decent sized fan. And we're pulling what we call foul air out of the interceptor. And what that does is it controls where we're letting that air release at, and then we're putting it through the treatment of the activated carbon media. And what that does is it essentially eats the hydrogen sulfide, polishes the air, and then releases it through the chimney on the house behind us. And there's really no noticeable odor in the area. Something we'll continue to monitor, but it's really going to be a huge win for this community. I've personally worked hand in hand with some of these residents that have lived through this. I've been out here. This has been a great win so far. We've just started this facility up, so we're very excited about it.
It's interesting because Steve is telling you our facility has started up. And yet as you're watching this video, or if you were standing right here with us, you don't hear anything. But if you walk inside, it's quite noisy actually with all of the apparatus running. So this is another thing. We took a lot of, engineering, value engineering here to make sure that this thing acoustically, not only, that you look at this beautiful home, but that acoustically it fit into the neighborhood. There's a lot of people live around here. This is a busy intersection. Kids are walking to school. People are going to church. I mean, it's busy here. So we want to make sure that we don't have any negative impact on the residents. And let me ask Don, Commissioner who sits on the mid-board, to talk about how his involvement and what he thinks about this project. He's also from Sterling Heights.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here with you. Candace and Steve have covered most of the critical details about this, but this is a win-win for the neighborhood. Elimination of the odor that's been plaguing this area for quite a while, and then also there's a long-term effect because the underground infrastructure is going to be have its life extended by sucking the foul air out of the underground system. We won't have to come and dig up the streets and replace underground infrastructure and do things like that as in the future for a long, long time. So also with the beautiful home that's behind us, it integrates nicely into the neighborhood. So people, it'll help them maintain their property values and sell their homes because there won't be this ugly facility down at the end of the block. And so they eliminate odor, they get a nice residential looking facility there, and they have extended life to their underground infrastructure. Win, win, and win. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Van Sickle. So we talked about how we're spending a lot of resources here, and through our entire system, if you've been following our videos, we are trying to fix everything we possibly can. It's not without cost. This particular facility was about $5.3 million to build this, $5.3 million. So we spend a lot of money at this department, but I've been fortunate to be able to raise a lot of money through the federal government, the state government, county government with ARPA funds, etc. And most of our projects that we've worked on, many of them, we've paid entirely with funds from other sources. So for the projects that we have had to do, we've not had to raise people's rates. And I think that's of an important note. But also because we are spending so much money, we try to do as much public education and outreach as we possibly can so that you have a high degree of confidence in our department, what we're spending the money on, what we're doing with the funds, and that's why we do these videos. So we certainly invite you to give us any feedback as well. This home, one other thing I forgot to say, it's about a 2,000 square foot home. So again, it fits into the neighborhood with the footprint of this as well. But we appreciate your attendance and watching our video today. I appreciate certainly the attendance of Rob Myjack and Liz Sabrowski on the City Council, and County Commissioner Joe Romano as well. has this particular area in his county commission district. So thanks for your attention.
Follow us on social media. For more information, explore our website, reach out via email, or connect through our toll-free hotline, 1-877-679-4337.